the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are so glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here with you to get your Tuesday morning started. It is a recorded pod, so I know some of you are going to get disappointed. I've seen the comments. Oh, crap, it's another recorded pod. Well, we're sorry. We have some things we had to get on the road to do this morning. But again, we're here for you guys. We're not going to skip a day. We just have to work a little overtime. So we can't interact with you today, but all of you can interact over here in the comments with each other. So that's still available. And we do see them as I'm making that mention, Faith, right? We see the comments. And again, sometimes we have to do recorded ones. We love doing live ones, but sometimes we have to do recordings. Good morning, Faith. How are you?
Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Welcome back, by the way. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I enjoyed
birthday week for you, by the way.
Basically at that extent. Yeah. I enjoyed my few, it was nice because it was a whole weekend,
That's
where
right.
Instead of it just being in the middle of the week or something, I got to have I feel like my birthday hasn't been on a Friday in so long, and that's because the calendar, it really hasn't been on a Friday in so long. So it's nice. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I feel like there are some things that I've missed and some things that I haven't been able to speak on because obviously I wasn't here on Monday.
I think Thursday was the last time you were on.
Thursday was the last. And then, I wasn't there yesterday to talk about, obviously, the basketball game. And you had that solo basketball post-game reaction show because of how I don't think anybody expected that to happen after.
I had to dart out of the duck blind to come home to do that one. I told you, I'm like, Look, I know you got plans. I'm not expecting you to do anything. I got to talk about this game. And
30 years after not winning in 30 years there, I think it was well enough for you to start that. And I told you, I said, I wish I could hop on, but
you're in parts unknown at that point. So I was not going to make you change what you were doing in your plans. But I did. Look, I will admit, I think if y'all all want to call us out, I didn't have that on my bingo card. I didn't have Auburn going to Florida and winning by almost double digits. So I'm like, yeah, duck hunting's over. We got what we needed. It's time to head back. It's like, guys, I'm sorry. I got to cut out. And I got to go back. And it worked out great. I had a lot of people watch. Appreciate everybody jumping on. I think I held it down okay by myself. Not quite as well as if you would have been here or Randy would have helped or whoever. But I tried to pull 30 minutes of solo. But it was a lot of people on here commenting and stuff. A lot of happy Auburn basketball fans for sure.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, just watching it and seeing how well just out the gate Auburn was. I mean, there were, I think, 3 times throughout the whole game that Florida led. The first one literally being
one time. They only led at 3-2. Now they led briefly on that goaltending call.
Yeah.
And so then it got wiped out, and so it was a tie game. So then you go back to Auburn taking the lead back. So Florida only led one time in that game.
Yeah.
Only one time.
It was unbelievable. And I think too, you and I were texting during the game, and you were still in the duck blind, and I said, hey, I think this is the time where Auburn's going to do what Auburn's going to do. No need to worry. Go ahead and stay comfortable there. And I was wrong because honestly, they turned it around. Timeouts were called when they needed to be. There also was momentum shift after when normally I think we would see Auburn kind of get into a cave when schools hit up a 9-point run or something that Auburn either gives up or whatever it might be. But I think this time that shifted the momentum for them to actually persevere and make something happen, Again, I mean, there just wasn't too much there weren't many schemes on the offensive side that were, surprising, I guess.
The
Still
defense is where that game was won.
100%, 100%. It was a really good game, and
And in fairness to me and you and every other Auburn analyst and all, like when you said you sent that text, well, here Auburn was up massive in the first half, and they let that lead get away, and you're like, well, here it comes. You know how many other people texted me the same exact thing? It's just like we've grown to expect that. It's like, oh, I can't rest easy. I can't enjoy this lead because we know what's coming. And then it comes, and then you're like, well, the game's over. You're going to lose by 7 or 8. This team on this night said, nope, ain't happening. We're going to hold on, and they did. So, hey, kudos to Auburn for proving us all wrong, right?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it bleeds over from each sport to sport when you're talking about losing a lead and
it's a good
finding
term
a way.
Bleeds. I feel like I bleed out on a lot of Auburn athletic events a lot of times.
I mean, I don't even know if you're bleeding orange and blue anymore at this point.
Just bleeding, straight bleeding, not any orange and blue. But we will have a post-game show after the Tennessee game on Saturday. So everybody make sure that we're not going to have one unless some kind of meteor hits or something against Texas on Wednesday. We'll be there for the game. We'll be covering the game, but our next post-game reaction show will be after the Tennessee game on Saturday. All right, depth chart reset, high expectations for some, not all. Auburn reps in the Super Bowl, 3, I think, right? 3 Auburn former players, 1 for New England, 2 for Seattle. We'll talk about those, and then basketball at home against Texas like we just talked about. All right, depth chart reset. Again, Faith and I will have a show coming up at some point in time in the next few weeks where we rank the portal additions. I think it's calmed down. This weekend was pretty calm for the first time. Most of the time it's a rapid. I mean, we were on call 24/7. Like, hey, we got to add another. We just had another one. We're posting all that on our social media for everybody to keep everybody up to speed. It was a little bit more laid back this weekend. It's kind of tempered down. Auburn sitting at 39 portal additions. And then there was something you sent me last night that was very bizarre that I had not seen yet that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. A former Auburn player not signed with the team, but doesn't look like they're going to play for that team. So that was it. What's going to happen there? That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
a little tease, by the way, for everybody.
Yeah, I guess I'll give my take when we talk about that, but I sure do have a take.
I can't wait to hear it because you and I have not talked about this.
No.
You just sent it to me, and I was like, wow. I'm like, what happened here? But I think it's a lesson to be learned for players to get in the portal. Things happen. You better be willing to face the consequences, whatever they are, good, bad, or ugly. So, all right, so we will have a ranking show on that coming up, probably in one of our Blitz OT segments that we have coming out more and more as the weeks move along. So keep up with that too. All right, depth chart reset. I sent you something yesterday. I'm like, we had gotten so depleted that certain people had moved up into second and third string that you were like, no cut on them, but you were like, if this is how this plays out, boy, this is not going to be good. Thank God for the portal, right? Thank God for Alex Golish and the staff doing the work they did. Because
if we were going to have some of that, I mean, my gosh.
Again, it's not a cut on some of these guys, but man.
Just thrown in the towel.
Maybe so. At
that point, I mean, thin, scary.
Yeah, it didn't look good. All right, so we have a depth chart reset. The quarterback position, look, Byron Brown or bust. If we're having to worry about Tristan Tia or Lachlan Hewlett Arish Brush this year, it has hit another level, man.
Yeah.
Something tragic happened. Something disastrous happened. Byron Brown, you hope he stays healthy. And yes, I would say Tristan T is the backup, even though Lachlan Hewlett is coming from USF. We'll see how that kind of all plays out. Who will be? Hey, I think that's important now. I think the number 2 guy is very important because if Byron Brown were something to happen, who is the next guy? I would say it's Tristan Tia for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But I mean, what was it? Two years ago that he got hurt? Byron
Yeah,
Brown.
Byron Brown got hurt in 24. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Doesn't matter when, what game. So it is going to be good though to have somebody that is ready and always, going to be. But Lachlan Hewlett, he's worked with some of these guys, both the receivers and one of the running backs too. So that's also, and the line. So that's also something to think about when, you know the team and you've played with them before. Some of these guys, that also has to help.
And then a little bit of a preview of where we're going in a little bit. Did you, I don't know if you had a chance to see any of the pod yesterday morning with me and Jason, and just talking about the tight ends. And he said, without a doubt, that the tight end room to him was by far the best work Alex Golish and his staff have done in the portal. And all I could think about was how big of a smile you had on your face as he was saying that, because nobody been wanting tight ends, that room to be better more than us on this show.
There is no question about it. I think Coach Golish did a really good job going and realizing how depleted that room was and how underutilized that position has been at Auburn for quite some time. And obviously with his experience as a tight ends coach,
Right.
He sees and values that position and knows how to use them the right way. And with this being his offense now, he can decide basically whatever it is that he might want to do. And so going and how heavily he's gone in the portal with getting these tight ends, and we've broken down a lot of them multiple times, and the size and just how important it is to go and get these guys that have experience too.
Yes.
I think he did a really good job, and really looking forward to how he's planning on running this Auburn offense, because again, with how invested he was in the portal of getting tight ends, are we going to see more of them? I mean, I'm just really interested to see what he does. 7
guys in that room. Since we're talking about, we'll just go ahead and flip over to tight ends. I think this is going to be I don't know that you can set a depth chart on tight ends right now. I think you bring in Jake Johnson from North Carolina. What a name, Arliss Boardingham. You just that's got, Arliss Boardingham is that's just football name. Pass complete to Arliss Boardingham. Like Rick Smith I can hear that resonating across Jordan-Hare right now. He's from Bowling Green. And then, Hunter Herring, who you and I talked about from Louisiana Monroe, was a backup quarterback, but has made a decision to change to tight end. Very athletic guy, was the short yardage quarterback for Louisiana Monroe, Faith. And I think he's like, look, if I want to move to the next level, maybe tight ends where I need to be, 6'5", 230 pounds. Like, this is a big dude.
Yeah, it's interesting having had been a quarterback at that size and at, that weight that he's at. I'm sure he's going to put on a few more pounds if I had to guess, but
right.
A perfect physique for tight ends. And, just like you said, really interested to see how he adapts to that tight end position. I mean, last year you had to have an offensive lineman lose a ton of weight and morph into that tight end
Right.
role, but never really saw anything. But again,
No.
because of the lack of depth there and um, just trying to work his way up. But
The lone existing tight end on the roster for Auburn, Ryan G. Where does he fit in on this deal? Like, again, I think he's going to have, like, Ryan G was a pretty highly touted tight end coming out of high school.
mhm.
So, add it.
But
You
that's
got
what I'm saying when I'm talking about
right.
how much Alex Golish values that tight end position, that going out and getting somebody, 7 somebodies with
Yes.
experience
Yes.
tells you how much he really wants to utilize this room differently than it has been in the past. And again, that's no cut on Ryan, but
Hey, competition.
yeah,
Iron sharpens iron, right? We didn't have a lot of iron over the last couple of years, unfortunately. So, yeah, Xavier Newsom from Howard transferring in. Also, Jonathan Eccles, the South Florida transfer. So, lots to pick from there. We'll be watching in spring to see who emerges
yeah,
maybe as the lead dog there in the tight end room. I want to go back to this running back room, though. I'm excited about the running back room. I think, without a doubt, Jeremiah Cobb is RB1. But Bryson Washington being added to this room was massive. It you and I were very high on him last year at Baylor. Had a very good season for Baylor. I just think that was maybe the surprise of the portal for Auburn and Alex Golish, because you had already gotten a Kai Davenport from South Florida, and you
mhm,
kind of felt like with him and Omar Matson and Alvin Henderson at the time had not announced he was coming back, but has since said, I'm all in, which I applaud him, by the way, for not jumping ship and saying, look, I want to play at Auburn. I want to get better. I want to keep doing that. And you were like, man, you add a guy of the pedigree of Bryson Washington to this running back room. That was a massive addition.
huge pickup. And again, you can go through and just look at his stats and what numbers he put up last year with Baylor. But the way that we broke him down and talking about him and how much of a force he was going to be against Auburn last year, I think really is kind of what told you and I how big of a pickup this was, because of how much we talked about
Yes.
him and how much of a threat he was for Auburn last year. And then, you obviously get Tay Meadows, the Troy transfer,
Didn't even mention
just
him. Yes.
yeah, just last week, and how big of a pickup he is to add to this running back room. And it's interesting because last year we were kind of thinking it was a little bit of a shallow room, and the injuries and everything that kind of happened in that running back room. And now you look at these guys and you see a lot of depth and a lot of different style players.
Right. I think, to go out on a limb, again, let me take my orange and blue colored glasses off. Don't get a chance to put them on very often. But if things pan out with Jeremiah Cobb and Bryson Washington, could be the best 1-2 punch in the SEC. I mean, from an experience and
Mhm.
what you get with those two guys, if they stay healthy, I mean, that's how excited I am about the running back room. And then you got Omar Matson, and I mean, like you said, the ones you just reeled off with Nakai and Tay, and what Alvin Henderson possibly can do adding into this thing. Man, I'm excited about this running back room. I really am. Like, I know I got to kind of take a step back and can't get overly, over the top about it, but this is a room that we were worried about, Faith, for a while,
Yeah.
because everybody had left, and you felt, well, who the heck's going to come in and boy,
I think too, because you've been such a dominant presence in the SEC with running backs, with Tank and obviously Jarquez,
right?
that, you know, you just didn't really have too much of
No,
a name and big guys there that you really were confident in. And so keeping Jeremiah there too was huge
right.
for Alex Golish in the staff. So a lot to be happy about.
A lot to be happy about. We're not going to go through this whole depth chart. I mean, we'd be here over an hour. Just wanted to hit a couple, and we'll continue to do that over the next few days. We'll take a few positions, go back through them. Man, because there's some other massive areas on this team that were improved. Offensive line being one of them. There's too many. I think they've got 17 or 18 guys in that room now, and it's crazy. I'm looking forward to spring. I know that I'm looking forward to spring for multiple reasons. Hopefully, so all this crap gets out of here, and then you get to see a brand new team. You're basically seeing a brand new team from top to bottom, coaches and players wise. So, going to be rolling out there with the numbers and the depth chart. We're all going to be newbies together, trying to go through spring practice, but looking forward to it. Some areas that Auburn still needs to work. Not because they don't have some good players there, but they probably still need to add a few guys. One's defensive line. We went into spring last year saying that. But there's no spring portal now, Faith. And if you'll remember, Auburn picked up 3 or 4 guys in that spring portal. Not going to have an opportunity to do that. Doesn't mean that there aren't guys still hovering around out there that you can go get, because once you're in the portal, you're there. So we'll see if Auburn's able to add some more guys there. But we're going to go into depth over some of those positions maybe tomorrow or the next day or whenever. We'll keep people coming back for more on the depth chart reset. How about that?
Sounds great.
Let's talk about some of our partners, because we couldn't do the show without them. They are the best. We are so blessed to have great partners, and we always start with Sensagreen.
For air that's cool and clean or warm and clean right now, call in Sensagreen. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama, proud supporters of Auburn athletics and proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz podcast. The weather is so cold. I'm actually so sick of this weather, Brett. When you were talking about spring, all I could think about is how warm I hope it's going to get, because I cannot deal with this anymore. So make sure you call in Sensagreen, because they're going to be the ones that make sure your heating works and cooling when it comes time for the AC to be on, which I don't know when that's going to be.
No, it's going to be. I'm going to stay away from talking about the weather, because somebody jumped my case the other day about can't wait to see Brett in the morning complain about the weather and stuff he can't control anymore. So guess what? I won't say anything else about the weather. I'll let Faith talk about it, so maybe y'all can jump on her. All right, Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm located in Birmingham, Alabama. Congrats to Scout Program Management for landing the Opelika City Schools job. That was a big pickup. Saw their press release this weekend. Faith, that was huge for them. Proud of those guys over there. We know how great of an organization they have, and what a wonderful group of people they have in their building. So call on Scout Program Management, scoutpm.com, for your next big project. Again, you hire them for a reason, because they make sure it's done correctly from the start to the finish. Make sure you call on scoutpm.com for your next big project.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn, the perfect mix of sports, food, music, and fun. Some of the best food in Auburn, I can confirm. And also just some of the best vibes there. I mean, they have.
Did you OD, by the way, this weekend on steak? I'm just asking.
Maybe.
Okay, I had to cut in. I'm sorry. Keep going. I had to just mention that.
But also, I mean, they've got 2 stages. They've got so much going on at Bunkers. It's the best place for you to go. So whether or not you can watch the basketball game in Neville Arena or at Bunkers, it's going to be a win either way for you. Make sure you order the food. I love the steak sliders, and I just can't wait to go back.
I like the steak sliders, and then I like the steak sliders, and for dessert, I like the steak sliders. So, hey, why not? Can't go wrong with them for sure.
Amen.
And then the Cart Source, Alabama's premier golf cart superstore. And if you go to their store, you'll see why they're the Alabama's premier golf cart superstore. I've never in my life seen so many golf carts. Hey, I went by there the other day, Faith. They had like 10, 6 to 8 people movers out there on the lot, brand new, look like they just got them in. So if you're a business out there and you need to use golf carts to get people to and from places, school systems, whatever, they got them. And if they don't have them on the lot, they can order them for you. And for all of you out there that are just sitting there going, man, I've got a lot of land. I need a golf cart. What are you waiting on? Easy Go, Cushman Yamaha Club Car. Tell Harrison we sent you. He'll help you out. I'm telling you, the deals, like I'm blown away with the pricing on those golf carts and how well priced they are and how affordable they are, man, because you get just
New,
really, really nice
used,
stuff.
gas, electric, whatever.
Faith doesn't discriminate. She drives them all when we go down there.
I do.
And we'll be going down there very soon. We'll be letting everybody know that date coming up very soon. So excited about that. All right. High expectations for some. What do I mean by that? I think there are certain position groups on this team that there are high expectations for. We just named a couple. Byron Brown, that quarterback room and that running back room, they're high expectations. I mean, there's quality guys there, elite guys in those rooms that I think, look, coming into this season, and we'll see in spring, that you have high expectations. Jeremiah Cobb maybe get over 1,000 yards. Washington get, 600 to 800 yards to go along with that. Can Byron Brown be another 1,000-yard rusher? I mean, that's another element we didn't talk about. Byron Brown has rushed for 1,000 yards twice in the last 3 years and thrown for 3,000. That's another 1,000-yard running back there, Faith, that you add with Jeremiah Cobb and Bryson Washington. That is the best trio quarterback, two tailback tandems that I can think of.
Yeah, I think along with that, another high expectation is that offensive line. I know we didn't break them down and talk about them today, but we will later on this week.
Yep.
But I think because of how much they struggled last year and how many times they put Auburn behind the chains, it was hard for them to overcome. But I think you expect a coach to come in and see that and see what happened there and change that trajectory and turn that around. And so that's kind of where everything lies too. You want to run the ball, well, make sure your offensive line is going to be able to open up some holes for the guys to run through, but then also protect your quarterback, get the quarterback some time. I mean, all those different things. And that's kind of what I think my high expectation goes.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. So, yeah, some high expectations for some. Now, can there be high expectations for all after spring? Maybe. Let's just wait and see. Still some position groups that are unproven. And that happens now, I think, with the portal. Probably going to happen every year when you have, 20, 30 guys leave and you got to replace them. As you get a more consistent program under a coaching staff, and I hope that's the case, that we're not in 3 years talking about another change. If you do that and you build consistency, maybe your numbers in the portal go down every year and you go get 15 guys, not 35 or 39 guys. That would be a lot more apt or, kosher, I guess, than to have to go back and replace dang near 40 guys every year. That's just hard. So we'll follow that. What about Auburn in the Super Bowl? 3 reps for Auburn in the Super Bowl, 2 on Seattle, 1 for New England.
Yeah, very, very excited. You've got Derek Hall, obviously, that one that everybody remembers at Auburn, and Nehemiah Pritchett.
Remember him too. Very, very good in the secondary.
Yeah, you've got both of them. And then you've also got Carlton Davis.
Who, by the way, being a Bucs fan, and was at Tampa. But this guy's had a tremendous career.
He has played outstanding
everywhere he's been.
You hear his name called so frequently, and
he's a dude, man, and he was good at Auburn. I mean, Carlton Davis lived up to the hype. He was a good player, and he's had a great NFL career. Now he's at New England, and he's obviously helped them tremendously on that
Yeah.
defense, and loved him when he was in Tampa. I mean, of course, and then he exits, and but yeah, everywhere he's been a major contributor, and so kudos to those 3 Auburn Tigers for making the Super Bowl. Hey, somebody's going to get a ring. There is going to be an Auburn Tiger that gets a Super Bowl ring in a couple Sundays. So could it be 2 of them, or could it be just one? So we'll see.
That's true. Shout out Jarrett Stidham though for how well he played on Sunday.
Coming in, and I know that call was crazy, the fumble. Jason and I talked about that yesterday, and then the weather. You knew it was about to turn to crap. Why didn't you take the field goal and go up 10-0? There's just so many things. Like you got a backup quarterback, Sean Payton. Help him a little bit. The guy ain't played in dang 3 years, like meaningful playing time. And you got these coaches sometimes in the Seattle Rams game, the Seattle and Rams. I didn't call them the Seattle Rams. The Seattle and LA Rams game. You're down 31-27. Kick the damn field goal. You got 5 minutes to go and all 3 timeouts. Why do you feel like you got to go for it on 4th and 3 or 4th and 4? And then you throw an incomplete pass, and then they drive down and kind of put the game away. You get the ball back like 20-something seconds, but you go, well, they'd have driven down anyway if you'd have kicked the field goal. Well, not necessarily. It may have changed the way Seattle called plays if they were only up a point versus up 4 points, and they got to score a touchdown. Somewhere along the lines, these coaches have gone, well, we're just not going to do the logical thing. Let's do the illogical thing, and let's just always go for it. Let's just go for it. Hell, let's not take 3 points and cut it to 1 with 5 minutes. Let's just throw it all on let's gamble. Let's push all the chips to the table here and see what happens. Just don't understand.
And that's exactly why they do what they do, is because everybody is doing that. They're throwing all their money on those games.
Truly, there really is, no pun intended. Everybody pushing the chips to the table.
Yep.
Anyway,
glad you could get that out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking, why are you not kicking this field goal? And there's 5 minutes to go. What am I missing? And all 3 timeouts. Do you not think you might get a stop? And if you do, you only have to get in field goal range to win the game. Anyway, sorry about that.
It's okay. We'll just finish up with our partners before we hit our last topic.
I'm good with that. I'll
Oliver Ross
here. So
yeah, for all of your bartending needs, whether you've got 20 or 20,000 people, Oliver Ross is going to be the bartending service for you. Work events, sorority, fraternity, day parties, weddings. If you're planning on going ahead and getting your 4th of July parties planned, which I wish, we were doing, then go ahead and call in Oliver Ross to be the bartending service for you. They're going to be able to handle all the bartending things while you get to host your events. So call on them for anything, really.
Absolutely. Don't call on us. We'll mess it up. Russell Medical Center, one of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama. And again, when it comes to healthcare, nothing is more important in life. All the things that you can gather, material-wise, money, doesn't matter if you don't have your health, and you and your family, you want the best health. And Russell Medical Center can provide that for you, the best health care, doctors, facilities, whatever it is, convenience of being in a smaller town. Partner with UAB Health. I can't say enough great things about Russell Medical Center. Go check them out in Alex City. Alex City Marine, 256-215-3474. Center consoles, pontoon boats, bass boats, whatever it is that you're looking for. They have it, or they can order it for you. They're going to cut you a great deal. All of their boats, their new ones, powered by Suzuki, Mercury, Honda, the best in the business. Call them, 256-215-3474. Right there on Highway 280. Check them out. I mean, just really, really good partners. I can't wait for the comments of somebody going, all right, there's Brett going off again on something, and I love it, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for everybody's entertainment.
Hey, it's always a good topic too.
Whether somebody's complaining that I'm complaining about the weather, or they're complaining.
Okay, Brett, I actually did just check the weather while you were doing that because
you say
yeah, well, you were talking about the boat, and I was like, and then I was talking about the 4th of July, and so I just wanted to check the weather. 28 degrees right now.
Yeah, I can see why your brain took you to warmer places.
28 degrees. And it's
y'all jump on her for talking about this, not me. For all you
get down to 19. 19.
Nothing fun about that.
Do I need to like start dripping the water?
Yeah, probably.
I'll do it after.
At least it didn't. At least we're not Oxford, Mississippi. Good Lord. So that was. There you go, supporting the Rebs. All right, we won't talk much about this because we'll talk some more tomorrow about basketball home game against Texas. So we'll be there for that. Do a little preview on that. Auburn with a big win over Florida. Kind of looking ahead at this game. I'll give you a little bit of ESPN FPI predictor on this game. It's the kind of way Auburn's creeping up closer to the top 25. I saw where got a little bit closer this week, and rightfully so. Big win for Auburn on the road against Florida. So I'm trying to pull this up where it is. There it is. It wouldn't move over. Okay, Auburn 72.3% chance to win this game against the Texas Longhorns. They're 12-8. Auburn's 13-7. Hey, look, can't just sit there and celebrate over Florida. Texas is a pretty good team.
They just beat Georgia 87-67.
So
a big win.
They went to Kentucky and barely lost, had a chance, lost 85-80. Texas A&M had to fight to the end to beat them 74-70. They actually had Vanderbilt at the time. Vanderbilt was number 10 in the country. Vanderbilt rolled in and got their doors, no pun intended, blown off 80-64. Texas went to, at the time, number 13 Alabama and beat them 92-88. So this hey, look, you better not look at the standings. They're 3-4 and Auburn's 4-3. It's going to be a good basketball team coming into Neville Arena on Wednesday. Better be ready to play.
Yeah, it's going to be a good basketball game, like you said. Got to have that same connectivity that they had against Florida.
Right.
And honestly, it's what they need to have throughout the rest of this season. That was a completely different team that we saw Saturday.
Totally.
Than we have throughout this whole year.
And, I want to say this. Florida, 5-2, lost to Auburn. Arkansas, 5-2, lost to Auburn. They're up there tied for second with Kentucky. Texas A&M, 6-1, could easily be 5-2 with a loss to Auburn if that buzzer beater would have counted, or if Auburn had not squandered a 16-point lead. Either or. How crazy is that?
You can blame them both on that one.
Right. And if that were the case, Auburn would be 5-2, tied with A&M, Arkansas, and Florida, and have handed them all losses. But again, that buzzer, that's the difference. That's, again, hopefully not going to be a game Auburn looks back and goes, that cost us whatever.
Yeah.
But that's crazy how tight that is between all of those teams, and how Auburn, against the top echelon of this conference, has beaten 2 of the 3 and had the other one beat. So does that make them top echelon? Could easily be. They're sitting there at 4-3. So don't lay an egg Wednesday, and keep moving in the right direction. Got a chance to put a 3-game winning streak here together.
Yeah, tickets are back up to their normal prices.
There you go.
So
might start getting some people standing outside. If you camping out in this, camping in this to get in.
No.
Whoa.
It is so cold.
Yep, it is. So
you guys
another accolade
about that today.
Yeah, another accolade for Auburn. Keyshawn Hall adds another accolade. He was co-SEC Player of the Week. Very deserving of that. Glad to see he's found his offense again. Need it. Every time he scores like that, he gives Auburn an outstanding chance to win. So maybe we'll see another great performance from Keyshawn Hall on Wednesday. So, all right, that's going to wrap us up here. Faye, do you have anything else you'd like to add today?
Stay warm and have the best day ever.
Absolutely. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. And again, everybody be good to people. Be nice. Do something good for somebody. Remember the noon show coming up. If you have not subscribed, go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the like. We appreciate it so very much. We will see you next time for more of the Auburn Blitz.